What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis coming to y'all with that playoff analysis. We all was waiting to see which team would take control of the series. Phoenix went up 2-0. The Bucks come back and tie it 2-2. The only way the Bucks can win this series is if they win a game in Phoenix, which they did today, and they got a chance to close it in six. The Bucks fans been saying Bucks in six, Bucks in six, and it looked like it might come to reality. They just got to get it done. I've been saying that throughout the whole playoffs. The Bucks have talent. The Bucks have a lot of things going their way. They just got to go out there and win the game and get it done. Now they just have to win one more fourth quarter, one more game, and they will be NBA champions. The first one for Middleton and Giannis as a duo, and the first one for Drew Holiday, who was the hero today. Really hitting the mid ranges, hitting the threes, being aggressive, picking apart the defense, making the right reads, making the right passes. His playmaking ability became better in the playoffs than it was in the regular season. And honestly, his playmaking been better for his entire career right now. I haven't seen Drew Holiday be this witty, be this smart in a while. Like, Drew Holiday has always been known for his defense and his okay scoring ability, but he had them shots going tonight. He was going in the paint. He was hitting the mid-rangers. He was hitting the threes. He actually just did whatever he wanted to do. Drew Holiday really wasn't rushed. He really wasn't forcing it. He took some bad shots in the fourth quarter and a little bit in the third, but overall, they gave him open opportunities and basically dared him to shoot, and he knocked them down. Chris Middleton was able to pick his spots, win a score. He was able to hit some set shots. He missed some early in the game, and he wished he could have those back, but they was able to build a lead, and they was able to control the game. Therefore, they had to fight to come back. In the first quarter, Phoenix was doing whatever they wanted to do. They was killing them in the paint. They was getting the shots that they wanted. But the Bucks flipped it. They played with intensity. They was able to get to the basket. They was able to outscore and out efficient the Suns, which you really don't see happen at all. And they was able to do it for basically the entire second half and the second quarter. So I got to give the Bucks a lot of credit. They made adjustments. They rolled with Giannis at center. They also stayed, true to who they were. They moved the ball better. They made better decisions. And ultimately, they made some tough ones, too. I feel like they took a lot of mid-rangers. Giannis was knocking them down. He also used hook shots and floaters. Aiden was pretty good this entire game, being able to be a beast in the paint when he could, but also use his finesse touch to be able to put the ball in the basket from that 12 to 15-foot range. And you want to see him be able to score in multiple ways. He has been known to be able to do it, and he did it tonight. It just wasn't enough. Devin Booker, he got off to a good start, was making some tough ones. The Bucks gave him some easy ones, and he still knocked them down. But as the game kept going on, they started making it tougher. They started taking a lot of his airspace. They made him dribble a lot more than he wanted to do, and he's ended up forcing up inefficient, tough, contested shots, which if they go in, you will take them. But if they miss, that's the thing that's most likely going to happen. And Devin Booker has had better games now, and he had to, because, you get to the finals, you got to be legendary tattooed on you. You really want to be this Kobe type of player, even though he's not at Kobe's level. He has been having a pretty decent playoff run for his first time. So even though Devin Booker and them took the 2-0 lead, the Bucks have made a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes, even throughout games. That's something that they didn't do the last couple years. They didn't have a guy at that point guard position that can score as well as Drew Holiday can while also playmaking. His scoring has really went up in this series. He had some bad games still, but he also had some games that they needed to win. They needed to go 3-1. They needed to, 3-2. 2-2. They needed to go 2-1, and he was big in those games, and he didn't shoot that well the other game, but this was a must-win game for the Bucks, and they was able to win it, and Drew Holiday was a big part of that. Brook Lopez was able to score a little bit. He got some perimeter ones. He got some in the paint. Pat Connaughton picked his spots too. When he was open, he let it fly. He didn't try to force it, didn't try to do too much, didn't really get out of control. He just played his role and did what he was supposed to do as a support player. And I feel like his defense wasn't that bad. He made people dribble. He made people take tough shots. And if they make them, they make them. If they miss them, you did a good job because you was able to get the stop, and especially if they get the rebound. And I feel like Giannis didn't have that dominant rebounding game that he was having, but he also did mix it up. He was able to hit some perimeters. He was able to hit some fades. He was able to get some in the paint. I feel like he wasn't as explosive either. He took a lot of layups and a lot of drop ins instead of dunking it with force, but it didn't matter. He still scored efficiently. He still scored around the paint, and he was able to score in other ways. And we don't want to see too much of that, but they was daring him and saying that we'll give it to you. And Giannis and Middleton, he took a lot of tough fadeaways. He took a lot of tough pull-ups, but they was falling. They was going in, and you would take it because Middleton takes a lot of hard ones. He takes a lot of tough ones. He's not as efficient at it as you would like, but he mixed it up enough tonight with some easy ones, and that's mainly what you want to see out of it. Chris Paul, he started getting it going a little later in this game. Didn't really have that dominant Chris Paul game. Still had a better turnover ratio than the other games. Still was able to score in some spots, but you would want a little bit more out of them, knowing that you at home, knowing that you have to win this game. And if you do win this game, you have a chance to close it out because it would be an elimination game going to Milwaukee. Just didn't happen, just didn't go his way. And I don't feel like he forced the issue. I don't really think he was doing too much. I feel like he was reading the game, trying to make the right decisions, trying to take open shots. And he did try to do some drives. One he made, one he didn't. But to me, it's really crazy to see this Suns team kind of crumble, as they seemed like they was the better team and they had everything figured out. Even the last game, it went down to the wire and they actually had multiple opportunities to win it. They just came up short, and that's a game you would love to have, as it'd be a 3-1 lead. Going to Phoenix with a chance to close it out, and then you also have that cushion game to where you'll be up 3-2, and then you still have a chance to close it out also, but that just didn't happen. So when I look at this game, the Bucks seemed like they was getting the shots they wanted. They was flowing, they was going, and this is a game that the Bucks just look better. They didn't get off to the greatest start, but they played together. Everybody touched the ball, everybody had an impact, and everybody did and made basically the right decisions. And ultimately, that's what you want to see. The Bucks have really matured and really growed as this playoff series and these playoff games have gone. You can see that they really want it. You can see that they really want this championship real bad. And you can see that, they're willing to do what it takes to win the games. So I'm looking at this Bucks team and I'm looking at it like they're dangerous. They have a lot of answers. They can go big. They can go with some shooters. If Drew Holiday and them are clicking, they can be tough. And ultimately, the Phoenix Suns had a little bit of Cameron Payne. He was able to get some shots. He was able to attack. He was able to go at some big guys, but hasn't really had that signature game. You also look at Cameron. He was able to make some shots. Johnson, he was able to make some shots. He was able to knock down some threes to keep him in the game and give him some energy, but ultimately didn't really have the type of impact that you wanted out of him. And now we're going to see, do the Bucks have that killer in them again? You get to the finals, you won 3 series. The Phoenix Suns have been healthy for the most part, so that's not an excuse. And the Bucks have been able to be superior 3 games in a row. Just when we watched Game 2, it seemed like Phoenix had it all figured out. Phoenix was going to roll this series over, and now the Bucks have took command. The Bucks have took control, and the Bucks basically have Phoenix defense figured out, and they're making Chris Paul and Devin Booker jump shooters. They can make them. They're going to take them, but they ain't been dropping them the way that they need to. And other guys like Mikal Bridges, he had some threes that went in. He had some shots that was good, but he didn't have that game 2 type of performance. And Aiden hasn't really been dominating the paint as much as you would like, but he has also had solid games. So they're going to need somebody to play bigger, like we've seen with Mikal Bridges, like we've seen with Chris Paul. Nobody has really had that amazing, outstanding game outside of Devin Booker getting 30 back-to-back. But he's going to need somebody else to have that outer body experience to really help them get over this Bucks team that seems like they got everything clicking and everything figured out. So we got us a series. We're seeing a lot of fun. We're seeing a good game. Now we just gonna see, can the Bucks close it out and seal it at home, or they gonna have to win another one in Phoenix, and that's gonna be the thing that we all gonna want to see. Is the Bucks gonna finish it? Is the Bucks gonna collapse, or can the Bucks actually get it done? Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Gwen Wade, that's one also signing out.